talked about GDP, economic growth. You can't have a thriving economy without a thriving business environment. There's been a bit of news coming out of that. The Presidential Enabling Business Environment Council has confirmed that Nigeria's visa on arrival process is not being scrapped, but rather being upgraded to an electronic e-visa system to enhance efficiency and ease of doing business. There was apparently a meeting between the PEBEC's Director General, Princess Zara Mustafa Adu, and the Honorable Minister of Interior, Dr. Olubimi Tunji Ojo, and they talked about how the system is going to be modernized. So the Director General joins us right now from Abuja to talk about that, plus a whole lot more. They also got a new system in place to try to improve the business environment. So you're very welcome to the show, Director General. Princess Mustafa Adu, thank you so much for being with us. So how has this visa process, the visa on arrival process, how has it been improved?
Good morning, Rotus. Well, okay, so we're jumping right into it. So we had a meeting with the minister yesterday, like you earlier said, and what he's saying now is, obviously, initially we used to apply for the visa online, and it would be processed through the immigration office, and the CG of immigration would have the final say as to whether the visa was approved or not. But moving forward, what he wants to do is automate the entire process. So once you apply online, you'd be able to get a response within 24 to 48 hours. A data center has been set up with immigration officers who have been trained to go through applications very, very quickly and give response very, very quickly also. We also spoke extensively about the infusion of working very closely with other security agencies like Interpol to ensure that there are high security checks as to people that are coming into Nigeria. But I think overall this is an easier system because once you apply, you don't have to wait to come into Nigeria to physically get a sticker on your passport. The visa would be emailed to your email address, which means that you have your visa ahead of your trip. Similar to what I think we used to get as Nigerians when we applied for the UAE visa.
Exactly, and we covered so many international events here at Arise News, and as you said, the visa process for select countries that do that makes it very easy. But Director General, can you please speak to the importance of technology? You mentioned the data center, you mentioned the online process, and the digital channels. Can you speak to the use of technology in making the business environment more palatable for not only people who are traveling here, but also, the players in the respective sectors? How important is technology to what you're trying to do at PEBEC?
One of the key things we're trying to do at PEBEC is automate all our systems. We believe that automating the systems would definitely lead to more efficient systems, more transparent systems, and just basically a better control of the workflow, because you're able to see from one end to the other end when say for instance applications come in and how quickly the turnaround time is before the feedback goes back out. And this is for all sectors, not just for the immigration sector. Things such as application for company formation, which is done through the CAC, things like your NAFDAC licenses, your FRS taxes, which is also somewhat automated. So we're trying to see how we can push all the ministries, departments, and agencies that are currently working with PEBEC to, toe the same line of automating our services. We're hoping very soon, in April, to have a retreat for all our heads of MDAs and our reform champions within the MDAs, again, to pass a similar message, to also come together and realign towards supporting this President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration's goals of delivering better, efficient services for all Nigerian businesses, and also, of course, our international businesses that are coming into Nigeria.
Fantastic, fantastic. And I love the word, automation that you talked about. We're working on a report on automating fuel stations. Maybe we'll bring you back to talk about that. But I do want to ask you about a new regulatory framework that you have introduced. I think you're calling it a regulatory impact analysis, if that's correct. It applies to it applies to the federal agencies. Goes in effect in March. You have key questions about policies. Talk to us about that. This new framework you're putting forward.
So actually, the framework was launched on the 29th of January by the Office of the Vice President, who is also the chairperson of PEBEC. It has gone into effect. It went into effect on the 1st of February. And basically what it says it does is it gives several milestones that must be completed before new reforms and policies can be introduced. And amongst those milestones include stakeholder engagement, which means that the public is well aware of variation to policies or reforms in due time, and they're engaged. And then it also allows us to rigorously go through the policies to ensure that this is the best alternative, or there's no other option that could possibly be told, as an alternative to that policy. Another thing to really take note of is this is being put in place because we're pushing for a more stable business environment. One of the key things that you would continuously come across when you deal with the private sector players is the level of inconsistency. So for this administration, we're looking to make sure that we stabilize our business processes, allow our businesses be able to forecast and plan, because that's a huge part of being able to do business, and that's a huge part of being able to invest. When you're able to forecast and plan and see, over an extended period of time, plan how your returns on investments can come in. And if you keep having instability on new policies, no matter how amazing these policies are, it gives a level of instability and also moves, investors' or shifts investors' confidence, which is not what we're going for at the moment. So stability has to be the key word for all our heads of MDAs moving forward. Another thing is also we're trying to move away from the culture of every new leader coming in with completely new ideas. That government is a continuation. We should learn to appreciate what our predecessors did and build on existing ideas. Obviously, because there must have been some level of logic that must have gone into those ideas in the first place. And I think for us to actually move forward as a country, there has to be a level of continuation. If we keep coming in and starting afresh, then we're never really going to get to the end goal, which is where we want to be. So we have to build on existing policies, especially because a lot of our policies are actually very amazing. The only problem with our policies is implementation. Another thing that PEBEC is going to be pushing very hard on is ensuring implementation. There's so many of the executive orders that have been passed that have not been quite fully implemented. So we're going to work with our heads of our heads of agencies, departments, and ministries to make sure that this, reforms and policies that have been previously passed are well domesticated and are implemented, so that our businesses can start to see tangible benefits.
Fantastic. Very, very in-depth explanation there. We thank you for that. I think we're almost out of time. I need to ask you about reports. Since you're talking about continuity, the present Minister of Trade and Investment, Dr. Jumoke Odule, of course, emphasized a lot of reports when she was, ahead of PEBEC. So will that continue? Will you give us the rankings of the states, how ease of doing business is there, and so on and so forth? Can we look forward to more reports?
So that's very interesting. Yes, we will continue with the reports, but slight differences. I have a little bit of a different approach as regards to dealing with our subnationals. Of course, you understand the way Nigeria is structured, and we know the best approach for me, in my opinion, the best way to get our subnationals to cooperate with us at the federal level is from a point of encouragement, a point of hand-holding, working with them, making sure they're well integrated into the formation of some of our ideas and policies, etc. So moving forward as it regards the report, what we are going to be doing is, yes, we will be highlighting maybe some of the top states to do business, but we're not going to be ranking all the way to the bottom and picking any states as the bottom states. We're going to just basically state the pros and the cons, and then also recommendations for improving, ease of doing business at the subnational level. Of course, the SABRE program is also a very major program, which we are going to continue to work very strongly with World Bank on. We have some ideas around should we say, promoting the program a little bit more, as opposed to what we were doing with the regional engagement. We're hoping to start our statewide tours, which means that PEBEC will be coming to a state capital near you very soon to have town hall meetings, to engage with local businesses, to figure out what is going on as it relates to ease of doing business in whatever state you reside in, and then making recommendations as to how to make it better. Yes, of course, they are top performing states, and we need to continue to encourage them. So there will be some level of ranking. It just wouldn't be ranking all the way to the bottom. Yes.
Great stuff. We very much look forward to it. We wish you the best of luck, and please come on the show again, because this is a really interesting topic. Ease of doing business is practically the whole pie, as they say. Princess Zara Mustafa Adu, the Director General of the Presidential Enabling Business Environment Council. Thank you so much for talking to us on Horizon.